Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and it's finally here, the Alaska, the Tier 9 USN Premium Battlecruiser that's been in the works for such a long time. It probably has been one of the longest, if not the longest, premium ship that has been hyped about for a long time. It's been good 4, almost 6 months, almost half a year. No, maybe not that long, but it's been talked about and it's finally been released, and you can get it for a low price of 1 million free XP or a low price of $150 USD. Yeah, not cheap. Not cheap. I would not be willing to buy it in store. $150, that's just absolutely insane to plop down. Now, you do get some other special stuff with it, but honestly, I just rather grind it up. And I mean, that's what I was doing prior, and I do apologize. There's me forgetting to turn down my phone for recording. So let's actually quickly do that real quick. So we are in a tier 9 battle, I believe. This was actually my very first battle, and as you can see, Alaska Mania is in full effect. So what makes the Alaska... oh yes, that effect is in now, where it shows off the radar, and it is the delayed reaction, so your allies don't instantly see what you see, but it does visually show you when your radar is going off. So really cool effect. And also in chat, it does point out if you're using hydro, using your radar, I think any consumables except for damage control and maybe repair party. But what makes the Alaska so different? Well, first off, she has 305mm caliber guns. She has semi decent armor, because you can ricochet shells if angled properly, but I would say the gameplay for her is very similar to the Scharnhorst. You don't want to be sitting bow in, because I really don't think that's going to be how you want to play her. She has very nice range, 19 kilometers. Her health pool isn't particularly impressive, it's only 60,800, but what is so spectacular is her armor piercing shells. Once again, they are 305 and they hit hard, very hard, and they have a decent reload time too, of about 16 to 17 seconds. And as this hipper is going to feel, double citadel, 28,000 knocked off of his health. Not bad, not bad. So pretty much, I would say the Alaska is comparable to the Kronstadt. However, the armor is not a Kronstadt. It's not. It's not a ship designed to sit in a stationary mode and just bow tank. It's more of a, well, I would say similar to the Des Moines, but you're actually able to kind of maneuver, because she actually has a very decent speed with the ship, and rudder shift is a little bit on the slow side, so you do have to take that into account. Her radar range is the best. It is actually a full 10 kilometers, and I do think I have the extended radar upgrade for the ship. So I believe it does last for a full 60 seconds. I'm trying to remember, it's been a little while. Now, obviously, I really want to get rid of the zipper. Try to get rid of him as quickly as possible. Now, the Scharnhorst is pushing in, and of course, there was still the Ognavoy around. Now, one other major factor, as we take out the hipper, is flooding has changed. Flooding isn't as dangerous as it used to be. Now ships can get a total of 2 flooding on the ship, one at the stern and one at the bow. and the combined damage is a little bit less than what it used to be. So getting the flooding flag is actually really beneficial, because you can actually survive flooding without immediately dying and trying to do something good for your team if you're about to die to flooding. So obviously, huge change in the flooding mechanic. I haven't experienced it too much. I think that was one of the few times I actually got hit. I am reversing, that is a Scharnhorst. Obviously he's trying to get in range to drop torpedoes, and luckily for me, I'm actually going to be able to get around behind this island before the Scharnhorst even gets close enough to drop his torpedoes, so we should be fine. Now the enemy team is actually doing a really good job. They've managed to take control of sea. Our team is hiding in the back. Look at the guys on the southeast side hiding all the way in the back. And finally got rid of that Iowa. And our team's actually starting to do some good here on the western side. Just got to get rid of the Scharnhorst as quickly as possible. We should be fine. This Scharnhorst, unfortunately, well, he's not going to be around for very much longer. So I haven't tried the AA, so I can't say too much of the AA, but from what I've heard from a few of my clanmates that have taken the Alaska out and actually experienced against CVs, and I was kind of hoping to experience this battle, but unfortunately that wasn't the case, is the AA's obviously very strong. It's a USN cruiser. It's kind of what they're known for. So your A is pretty darn good. The shell velocity is kind of a mixture between, I would say it's closer to the battleship velocity more so than the USN cruiser, the Des Moines velocity. I feel like it gets to target definitely a lot quicker, but obviously they are the USN armor piercing rounds, where they actually do good penetration damage even on slightly angled targets. So do keep that in mind. Now we are going to try to help out towards the B channel, because we do know the Ogden is over there. Now once again, the ship is actually a very fast battle cruiser. She's very quick. When I say quick, she feels quick. She doesn't feel sluggish. She is a little bit faster than the USN cruisers. I'm getting up almost 34 knots right now, comparatively to the, I believe the Des Moines normal is 32. I believe I might be running the speed flag on this Alaska, so that might be why it's definitely going a lot quicker. But here you can kind of see how the effect goes. In the chat it says I'm using surveillance radar, and it does take a moment. It's not instantaneous for your friendlies to actually see it, so you do have to keep in mind of that whenever using your surveillance radar. The duration on the surveillance radar is about 40 seconds, so not as long duration as the Des Moines or the Worcester, but still pretty darn long, and it does have that nice range. Now she's not a particularly stealthy ship. 12.2 kilometer. I believe this is actually my Des Moines captain. No, this is John Doe actually. This is actually John Doe. This is my Missouri captain. That's why his turrets turn that much quicker. So detect is kind of the mixture between battleship and cruiser, which makes sense. It's a battle cruiser. And one thing I really do like about the ship, and surprisingly, it's not because she's OP. It's not. That's the thing. I like that she's not OP. I like the fact that if you play her wrong, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna lose, you're gonna die very quickly. And that's the way it should be. If you play this ship wrong, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay? So, huge bonus there. Unfortunately for our Benson, is unfortunately gonna die to this Ognavoy and almost torpedo me. Now her turning so great is actually fairly tight. Did a really nice turn there, didn't really have to worry about those torpedoes all too much. And one other nice little thing they changed is the detect now actually shows you what you're being detected by. i.e. the hydroacoustics, the radar, or obviously surface detect. So that's really fantastic. I really do like that. And obviously the convoy is screwed, because granted these guns don't reload as fast as a Des Moines or Worcester. They reload decently quick, and that is one dead convoy. That is our second kill of the game. And now the Musashi is gonna be our prime target. The Musashi obviously is a Yamato, so that does mean we do need to be a little bit careful. So I am going to try to be a little bit cautious when facing off against this Musashi. Fortunately, he's dealing with the St. Louis, who is being extremely brave right now. I think he's currently actually trying to rush this Musashi to get his torpedoes off. And look at the damage against the Musashi. Granted, I think that opening salvo we did around 10,000, almost 12,000 points of damage. And that's the beautiful thing about this. It's like the Stalingrad. It has that very good penetrating AP shells and very large caliber where it does really good damage. I'm actually very curious, and you probably could, if you're close enough. And obviously having a Musashi with providing a flat broadside. You probably could get citadels on against battleships. They are 305 millimeters. There, Musashi finally goes down to the flooding, generally with our help, and that's pretty much all that's left. The enemy Alaska, and actually no, there's two enemy Alaskas, and yeah, so that's kind of a quick look. I generally would recommend play her a little bit like a Zhao. Make her a little bit more nimble, because yeah, granted you could probably kind of pull off a little bit bow tanking, but her armor isn't really what it is to really bow tank. It's nothing like a Kronstadt or a Stalingrad, so I don't think it's worth it. I think she's far better at being a little bit more nimble. She does have the arcing on the shells, which does make her very good at kind of sitting behind islands, kind of similar to a Des Moines. And you can lob shells over like a Des Moines, and they still hit pretty darn hard. Now, the enemy team, all they have left is this Alaska, who actually hasn't really taken any damage, surprisingly. So that should be additional damage right now. And as always, you always want to angle. Don't come around broadside like this Alaska. Let's see if we can get maybe our third kill. That would be fantastic. And instantly, you always just want to turn in, because these are 305 millimeter caliber shells, and they do hit pretty darn hard. There we go. Got our citadel. The dispersion can be wonky at times. Can be wonky. But there he goes, finally is killed off by the Ismo. So as you can see, we earned a victory, and one other super nice thing about this ship is she's actually a really good moneymaker. We brought home 961,324. I believe I had 2 money flags on her, and overall, very fantastic to grind money. So if you don't want to take the Missouri out or any other ships like that, Alaska's pretty good. Final damage, 138,067. Once again, this was my very first battle with the Alaska. And actually, I was not playing World of Warships for a couple days, so I was a little bit rusty, but it's alright. 2 kills, 4 citadels, 7 defended base capture, and 1 assisted base capture. We were top of the team with base XP of 2,149. Large amount of damage was against that Hipper and against the Musashi. That Hipper, oh, that opening salvo against that Hipper was beautiful. So, armor piercing, very fantastic. Now, I probably should go ahead and point out, you can switch over to HE. HE has a similar fire chance to the Des Moines, but broadside targets AP is just so beautiful. And that is going to be a quick look at the Alaska. It's finally out. You guys can decide if you want to spend $150 on the ship or a million free XP. I'd rather do the free XP, obviously. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what we saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Side Gen.